Hello, hello. Welcome. It's Thursday Night Live. How's everyone doing today? I hope you had an awesome Thursday. Hello, Jessica. What's happening, Fernando? Good to see you, my man. Hello, Jesus. Awesome. Well, let's get to it. So, what type of love, for those of you that are in relationships or have been in relationships, do you share with that person? Do you have with that person, right? So I put a post earlier today that talked about the triangular theory of love. And that's a theory that I've been researching. It's for a class that I'm going to be doing with Enhancing Harmony. And so this class is for couples that are in a relationship, and particularly couples that are getting married, soon to be married, because it gives them, it's kind of like premarital coaching, and it gives them a discount on their marriage license. So I will share a little bit about this triangular theory of love with you. So basically, is that it talks about interpersonal relationships have three components, okay? Three components of love. So according to the triangular theory of love, there are intimacy, and I put intimacy with an exclamation mark, with a star actually, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So it's intimacy, passion, and commitment. Now, it says that the amount of love that one experiences depends on the absolute strength of these three components. And the type of love one experiences depends on, of course, the strength of these three components, and it's based on one single element as is likely to survive. So a relationship is less likely to survive if it's based on one single element. Now, I put a picture of a triangle on there as the triangular theory has it. It has intimacy at the top, and so I put intimacy with an asterisk because a lot of people think intimacy is sex. And yes, sex can be an expression or a manifestation of intimacy. Intimacy is really emotional vulnerability, emotional nakedness, okay? So then you have at the other corner of that triangle, you have passion, and at the other opposite corner, you have commitment. Now, if you notice that when you combine, so if you just have commitment, according to the triangular theory of love, you have an empty love. If you swing all the way to the other corner, if you just have passion, then you have what is called infatuation. And if you just have intimacy, then you have what is called just liking someone. You're just liking, according to this theory. Now, along the sides of the triangle, you have when they combine. So when you combine commitment and passion, you have fatuous love. Okay? When you combine intimacy and commitment, you have companionate love, like the love of a companion. And when you combine passion and intimacy, then you have what we call romantic love. Then in the middle, which is a combination of all three, you have consummate love, which includes all three: intimacy, passion, and commitment. Now, the thing about this is, you could be in a relationship with someone, and from your perspective, you may have both passion and commitment. And so you may be in that fatuous love phase. But what about the other person? What if the other person just has commitment for you, but lacks passion? Or what if the other person just has passion, but lacks commitment? So what I find so good and so helpful about this triangular theory of love, I just see it as a guideline. It's just a good way to kind of help the couple, the two individuals in this relationship, to kind of get on the same page, to kind of see where are we on this, and perhaps where are we lacking? What do we need to work on? If you're missing, if you both have both passion and commitment, then why don't we have intimacy? What do we need to do to get there? What's getting in the way of that? It just gives you a place to start looking at something, okay? And so I just find it that's really interesting. I think it's very helpful. And so it's kind of like makes you reflect about yourself and your current relationship or the relationship you want to have. If you want to know more about it, definitely Google it. There's plenty of websites that talk about it. This is the triangular theory of love. But if you go to the post that I put earlier today, you'll see the triangle. Just kind of take a look. And I think that if I'm just going to be just sharing some thoughts with you, I think most of us end up in just infatuation, Some end up in romantic love, which is when you combine intimacy and passion. Some are in your fatuous love, which is passion and commitment. But finding all three, I don't know. I know I've never done it so far. That's probably the ideal, What do you guys think? Tell me your thoughts. We're talking about the triangular theory of love, and and again, just to reiterate, he talks about the three components that are of the theory of love is that it's intimacy, passion, and commitment. And so, what do you see this? How do you see this manifesting in your life or in society? Period. What do you notice? What is the most common thing that you see in terms of this type of loves that we have? And again, for me, I see a lot of possibly romantic love. Sometimes even on the companion love, there may be some relationships that are just straight up companionship, and then maybe we're confusing it for more. The companionship relationship, that one lacks passion, and so you may be in a relationship that's really all there is to it. It's just companionship. There's commitment, there's intimacy. You guys like each other, and you guys are willing to share personal things with one another, but there's no passion. That part of it is missing, and then you're trying to force something that's not there. I just think he just helps us, and I keep looking over here because I'm looking at the picture. Excuse me. I'm looking at the picture. It just kind of helps us, kind of like a map. It helps us look at it and just kind of see where we fall. Now, again, in order to do this, it does take vulnerability. It does take you being honest with yourself. And it isn't about blaming anybody. It isn't about comparing yourself to anybody. It's simply a way to understand where you are as a couple, where you are as an individual, and grow from it. That's pretty much all there's to it. So if you're willing to go there and take a look at your relationship, I highly recommend it. The triangular theory of love, So what's going on out there? Anybody have any thoughts about that? Triangular theory of love. Go check out the post if you haven't seen it, or come back to the video and tell me. But so far, what I've shared, and anybody have any thoughts? Hit me with something. I'd love to hear your perspective. Hello, Natalie. How are you? If you're just joining, Natalie, I'm talking about a post I put earlier today about the triangular theory of love. It basically talks about three components of love, which is intimacy, passion, and commitment, and how those three can combine to form different types of love, If you want to go check out the post, feel free to do it. It's earlier in my page. One other thing that talks about this theory that I want to share with you, let me go to that part of the page. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. 1 second. Give me 1 second. So this other part kind of breaks down each section. So when they talk about passion, they're talking about that passion is associated with either physical arousal or emotional stimulation. Okay? When they talk about intimacy, it's described as the feelings of closeness and attachment to one another. This tends to strengthen the tight bond that is shared between those two individuals. Additionally, having a sense of intimacy helps create the feeling of being at ease with one another, in the sense that the two parties are mutual in their feelings. Okay? So when they talk about commitment, it involves a conscious decision to stick with one another. The decision to remain committed is mainly determined by the level of satisfaction that the partner derives from the relationship. There are 3 ways to define commitment, and it goes further along. But those are basically the 3 categories. Hey Nan, how are you? Good to see you. You know, the funny thing about commitment is that I've been in conversations with people that believe that, for example, getting married or wearing a ring or the piece of paper will guarantee that their partner will be committed to them. And you all know that's not true. You know, commitment is something that's within you or not. You either come with it or you don't. You know, a ring or a piece of paper does not put commitment or loyalty in that person. That's already within that person. It's one of the values that that person has grown up with. So that's one of the things that you don't want to get confused, that just because you get married or you wear a ring or you have a piece of paper, that somehow it's going to guarantee that someone is not going to cheat or leave you or what for somebody else. That's just not the way it works. Commitment comes within you. So there you go. That's the triangular theory of love. Check it out. Google it. Check out the post. Add to the conversation. Maybe you want to share some thoughts. Put it on there. And let me know what you think. I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out. As far as what's next up, I'm getting ready to post a video on my YouTube channel about like a brief intro to meditation. Like it's a technique or an exercise that I teach all my clients, and so I'm gonna be putting that up. It's already edited and ready to go, so I just gotta upload it. So be looking out for that. If you go to YouTube and you search on the search bar LifeCoachAngel, which is my hashtag, you don't have to put the hashtag on there. Just put LifeCoachAngel, all one word, and it should take you to my channel. On May 20th, I will be at the Natural Grocers off of the Alamo Heights Natural Grocers off of New Braunfels Street, and I'll be giving a little free introduction to kind of the work that I do. You know, I'll be doing like a wellness assessment, kind of taking a look at the several aspects of our lives, and basically our blueprints, what makes our lives, and you get to get a kind of like a snapshot of how you show up in the world. And it's free, so just show up. It's May 20th at I believe it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 11 o'clock at the Natural Grocers. So I'll be putting more information about that on my page if you want to check it out. Other than that, I hope you have a great Thursday. And go Spurs, go. Bye.